Now, once they said they're bugging your phone to see what Al Qaeda saying to you. See what I'm talking about? Bugging your phone to see what drug deal done. They broadening the ban because they know darn well that Al Qaeda ain't talking to all these people in the United States of America. So why you can bug in everybody's phone? They know that. But they trying to see how big a foolish mind we have. See, is you going to do this? I'm gonna tell you another thing while I'm at it here, since it's on my heart and on my mind. When God gave me a vision of Pine Bluff, when I left Pine Bluff, He gave me everything He spoke to me concerning, just like He did Daniel and everybody else, and He did me great with more than He did them. He told me how I was going to leave Pine Bluff and who was going to chase me out of the Pine Bluff and how I was going to go to the east and I was going to be forced back towards the west and I was going to catch wings and I was going to fly. He gave me this symbol and I was going to lose these things. But in doing so, the people that how he did this, I didn't know what was going on. He created a situation with the evil minds of people, and these evil people were going to take my life, and it caused me to flee to the east. It was located in the basket weave in the police department, the local police department, which created a myth, an act against me to try to frame me using some material called black white. I didn't know this at that time. I didn't know that till I went to the east, and this vehicle blew a stop sign, and the white female blew the stop sign and ran in front of my truck, and she got killed by my truck. I'm just telling you this here. And it was a racist town there in Illinois, Danville, Illinois. And the Wolves, which is organized crime, chased me back to the west. And there I caught a plane and went to MacDill Air Force Base where my daughter and her husband were stationed on the base, living on the base. I lived with them about 2 months, and I had to get off there because I didn't want to be, I couldn't live on a military base. But God used this shelter because they hadn't ran me out of civilization because they knew who I was, that I was a prophet of God. They had seen my work. And done so, them two little black cars, I didn't know what the significance of these black cars was, chased me out of some civilization. If it wasn't for the large convoy of trucks that night, they would have called me and probably blew me up with a machine gun. But God guided me through this here. The thing I said, said this. Well, I still own the house that I had beside the one that burned, that they tried to burn down on me in Pine Bluff. They burned it down, successful. But I bought another house when my mother became sick to see about her there, and then I was chased out of it because they said if I didn't, they told my wife, well, she alleged that they said she got to get out of here and get away from me because they gonna kill me. It didn't matter, they gonna come in and kick the doors down. So I had to end up out there, and I went across the world like God told me, and I returned back. The reason I'm saying this. But I'm keeping that house because it's part of my memories. It has sentimental values. Well, they done moved a detective around by that house now, and they hadn't been there 2 or 3 years. And drug dealers all around the house. The other way they established it because they know that I still own the house, and they know sooner or later I got to go by there. And I pay to keep the house clean up, but I don't go in the house. I stored food in there for the time coming, and it might not stand, but I'm just putting it there for my children. Well, the man that lives next door to that, he's a detective. I had work did on there. He don't know that I know this, but I know good and well he is working with law enforcement. But law enforcement is part of Blackwater. It's part of the establishment of the CIA, and they have a demonic spirit. Because when they had me behind that house and was going to take my life that late at night, it happened I had alerted the little kids that was playing in the back of the house. They were looking up at the stars, serving a mythical God. When one had a gun cocked at the back of my head, the year of 1999, when I had to, before I had fled to Danville, Illinois. Well, this tell me they were serving Zeus or Hercules and all of these people. So these people was not a godly people. This was the police department. But happened the paramedics came with the thing after they had shot me with their stun gun so many times and took me to Jefferson Hospital. But they didn't release me at Jefferson Hospital. I saw the mindset of these people. That's the reason I'm telling you these things. And even here in Danville, and even here in Conway, where I live at, this is where I live at, they gave my grandson a little camera to videotape me every time I move here where I live at right now. And they gave him an eavesdropping device. So I put all this here on YouTube because I don't have nobody in my corner. But I have to do what God say. Now, I told this guy, which lived by my house in Brownville, he asked me that I want to sell house. I'm not going to sell it. Before he even said that, I said, I'm going to keep this house because I'm storing food in here because God is going to kill the United States of America. And I'm saying it, I'm not going to back down because God is going to kill the United States of America. He's going to kill this food chain first. And he's going to kill the food chain of the peoples in the Middle East who democratized themselves. He's going to bring the locals and the kingdom worms upon their land over there, Israel and every last one of them over there. He's going to bring a flood up there. Everything they put up to sell in Yemen, he's going to bring a flood upon Yemen, and it's going to wash that stuff off into the ocean. Because they democratized themselves. They have taken on a covenant of democracy. Well, this man asked me, they sit up there when Barack Obama created this here stimulus package, they sit up there and try to pretend, use that to try to take my house, ask me, did I know all these people, law people, Ed Law, Martha Law, whoever they were, living in, they said, getting a stimulus package on my house down in Pine Bluff that I own. Other words, trying to bring me into something, ask me, did I let them have this to do this thing with? Trying to put me into something that I didn't, tie me into crime to take away what I've been saying out here to the people about the Antichrist. Well, then the revenue officer from Little Rock going to tell me, send me a letter telling me, do I fill out something, testify something. I told her, you ain't got no business asking me nothing. You don't have no business asking me nothing because when they passed that stimulus package, they know them people didn't have no money to buy no house. They know they had bad credit. And they know what they was going to do. This was did in a deceitful way that they may go and defile the people, the poor black people has covered and bought the house. They did this sometimes before I left out of there when they went and took my land and built a road cross, and I didn't get one penny out of it. But I didn't care about the materialistic things on this. So I let them, they took and borrowed money from Maryland, $20-some million to put a sewage down there. And gonna sit there and take my land and build this place on this. Well, man, don't sit up there. I've told him so many times I'm not going to sell that property. I don't need the money. I don't care about money. I don't care about richness of this land. He gonna say, well, you come tell me you want to sell this land, rent to own, rent to buy. I said, no, I'm not going to sell it. I told him that I wasn't going to sell this land. Well, you gonna sit there and say, well, give you a few days to think about it. You ain't give me no few days to think about it. You're a part of the establishment that shot me with that ray gun, which is the Pine Bluff Police Department, which is acting behind this creature here to try to take my property or try to have a drug dealer in there, to try to tie me in with a drug dealer, let my house sit there. I don't need no money. I'm not rich, but I don't need your money because that's what you take and deceive the mind of people and destroy them with. You take and think you've done something and they use that against you.